Freeway Ricky Ross. When does that begin, and what eventually develops between y'all two?
Me and Rick knew each other in the 80s and stuff like that. So I visited his house, we talked and stuff. So we did business. I think he got out in probably 91 or 2, something. Whenever he got out, 92. Nobody would help him. Like Rick got out, he still owned that building over there on Crenshaw in Washington. And he was trying to make a youth center into it. And then I ended up giving him some money because he said, "Chick, I'm fucked up, man. I spent all my money on this building." But the building was like then it was like 1.2. I know he had gave up $900,000 down payment on the building. And he was like, "Man, I just need to pay to catch this rent up stuff, catch the mortgage stuff, so I can give him the money to catch the mortgage up." And then we was gonna make it out to Apollo West. And so now I'm in, so I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's do it. And then after that, Blandon really called him. I was in the call when Blandon called him. They talked, and he was like, I'm home, I came home. And he asked Rick, I want to see you. I have some stuff want to talk about. Rick accepted him. He came down there and talked. Like, man, and told Rick that he was in some financial trouble. Like, this is how you get Rick hooked on the stuff. Like, I'm some financial trouble, I need some help. And, I got I got some work. And Rick like, nah, I ain't messing with no work. But he convinced him, and he convinced me in a way, because I was there. And Rick was like, I ain't got no money, but my partner probably want to do something. That's how this happened. And then I was like, I don't know, man, I'm done with that shit.
Because you had just beat a case.
I just beat a case, yeah. I just came home. My case was in 91. I just got out. Yeah, exactly. I just came home in 91.
So you were saying to yourself you wanted to get out the game?
I was out.
He was out. And Rick was already...
Rick was done too.
He had no money.
He had no money. Then he told Rick like, man, you like my son. He said that. I'm listening to him. He said, you like my son. Just this one time, Rick, I let you get, if you come out there, if you come to... Mexico, I give them to you for 7, like 7 a burn. But if I cross, you got to give me 10. And like 10, like 7, no, I'm not going to Mexico to get this shit. 10, we might can work. So we went down there a few times to meet him. Like, the first time we went, and he had this dude with him he was a Fed, he was DEA, but he was acting like he was the man with the drug. We talked about it, and he said, I got 100 right now. You can get the 100 right now. I just got to cross. And I like, all right. I said, bring him to L.A. Like, no, I ain't going to bring him to L.A. If I bring him to L.A., it's going to be a little higher. I'm like, but I'll bring him right here. Just, we can just give me the money, I'll give you the shit, and that's it.
And how much did you guys eventually agree on? How many kilos and how much was the total cost?
100 kilos at $10,000 a key, $1 million.
And you had that laying around?
Yeah. So I ended up putting that money in there, and we went to go see him. Like, when we get there kind of late, but for us, it was a lot of traffic, so when we get there, they wanted me to come there early, but we get there like, say 5 or 6, it was kind of dark then. So they don't want to do the deal, but I know why they didn't want to do the deal now, because they don't know if we had guns or not. They just, But I ended up getting a hotel and ended up staying that night. And then the next day, all kind of shit happened while we stayed there that night, like, that I should have known that these was the police, because we ordered a pizza, the pizza never came. Like, what the fuck is taking these people so long? The feds intercepted. They came in the room. They act like they was the pizza people. And we don't know this until afterwards. They just want to find out who was in which room. They needed to know about the guns, so they came in there with the pizza, delivered the pizza. I don't know if they had a bug or whatever. They came and did that. So the next morning, they called like at 6 that we crossed. Come on, come to meet us at Denny's. So we drove up to Denny's, get a cup of coffee, waiting on them. So we finally see them in Blandon. I'm seeing him and the dude pulling up, like in a Camaro or something. I said, Rick, there they go right there. But I'm seeing this dude like fake, like he's sleeping next to us too. Like, all right. But I'm looking around and I'm like, damn. So the dude, when Blandon walked up to us and the other guy, the DEA, they stood away and he said, you got the money? He's asking Rick. And now this time I'm thinking like, nah, I ain't giving up the money before I see this shit. I'm like, nah. And then they said, no, it's parked around the corner. around the corner meant this mall, Chula Vista Mall. So I'm like, all right, well, when I see it, I'll give you the money. Like, just like that. That's what I said. And I'm telling Rick, you know, I'm arguing with Rick, like, Rick, man, you sure, man, this don't seem right. So I'm like, you sure? Like, nah, Chicky, like, you know, like my father, he's cool. So we left and followed them around, because I thought they were going to take off with the money and go to the border. So we left, followed, then Blandon came back to the car and saw this other guy that was out driving. I said, go look in this, make sure it's in there. So Rick and him went to go see what's in there. So Rick waved his hand to me like, yeah, it's in there, they're in there, 100 key. So I gave him the money. I gave Blandon the money, bam. As soon as I gave him the money, that's when I seen like jackets and shit, DEA, FBI, helicopters coming off the roof. The truck that had the work in it has a cutoff switch so it never rolled. By this time, Rick had got back in the other truck, so Rick taking off. So when Rick moving, I'm going this way, and I see them jackets, and then all you can hear is freeze, and I see Rick take off. Going towards the freeway, and see hit the tree. I'm about to go through the mall, but it was like, man, about 50 red beams to my head, like, shut up, you know, got the truck, DEA. I'm like, oh, shit. Like, so by this time, I'm arrested, but I see Blandon. I'm looking at him, giving him high five. I'm like, oh, this is fucked up. Like, you know, he giving the DEA and all them high five. Like, oh, this is what it is. It's cold setup. Like, that's exactly how this shit happened, man. That happened March the 2nd, I think 93. Yeah.
So this is the case that they eventually gave Rick a life sentence.
Yeah.
And they gave you 7, 8 years?
They gave me 10, 8.5. And Rick, like, we ain't had no deal in that case. I figured like I was gonna go to trial on the case, but all the stuff, because my name, like, even you read the indictment, it's gonna say Chico and all that shit, like Chico and Rick, because they was mad at me for beating this other case too. They found out they had 2 and 1. I still didn't have no felonies. I just beat a case, but they couldn't use it as a prior. So Rick would have even took a deal for 20, and I was like, man, shit, if you take a deal for 20, I'm gonna see if I can get 10 or 15 or something like that. Like, we was gonna plead out, but then when all that CIA stuff came, we were like, oh shit. For the first, say, 5 months, we ain't know nothing about the CIA shit. And then Gary Webb contacted Rick through a letter, and then that's when all the stuff started. He sent us all the stuff, and then that's when we were like reading it in our cell. Like, damn. And then Rick just really thought he was gonna win. Like, chick, look at, you know, we read name, but all of it was redacted. Like, and then Maxine ended up getting us the unredacted shit where we can see all the names in there. And then you seeing Ronald Reagan name, you seeing Oliver North name in there. You're like, what the fuck? And you seeing people name, and the people, even with the Blandon, and the people that he was dealing with, we knew these people. Like, dang. Then it started coming out about this, the government was supplying us with drugs. Like, this shit is crazy. So by this time, we're thinking like, damn, we can win this shit. So all this time, all these years, thinking we was getting away with something, we was selling drugs for the United States government. I was like, that's why Rick thought he can win the case. Like, oh shit, we're gonna win this shit. They almost won too. Like, even them going to trial, like, they had pictures, they had everything, like this, like we was just, you know, me giving them the money, all that stuff. So they was like, all this stuff was made as a made up story, like we made the story up. Like, we trying to get out of another conspiracy shit, like this never happened. So they didn't let none of this stuff in our trial. But the day of trial, when I was faking like I was going to trial, I stood up and pleaded guilty. I pled guilty to the amount of money that I had, which was, the original was like $500,000, but when they turned it in, it was like 300-something thousand and shit. So like, I figured they gave Blandon 160,000. So I figured they just took that out the money, and they gave that to him. We found this out later. So like, you only sentence me. I didn't have enough money to buy 100 kilos. That's how I ended up getting the sentence I got. Cause like, you got to sentence me about money. I didn't buy no 100 kilos. I couldn't afford it. So that was my defense.
So did they actually have real cocaine?
They have real cocaine. Real cocaine. Yep. the 100 kilos, it's a picture. You can see it. I gave Gary, I had all my discovery, ended up giving Gary Webb the pictures of all the stuff, and they had it tested. They had everything. Because we said the same shit. Like, they ain't even know cocaine. They bought the 100, they brought it to court and had it tested, but it was they shit.
So technically, though, the court treated those keys as your shit.
Yeah, they did it everything.
Because they said exchanged hands.
And but that was, it never was going to exchange hands because they had a kill switch on the car. So the car never moved. So that they already had the shit. It was they shit. We got charged for it. Never seen it. Like, it was 4 boxes when they came. Rick, it was 4 boxes, 25 in each box. When Rick got sentenced, I'm in the cell. They put me first and they put me in the cell, and Rick got sentenced. I'm waiting on them to come in there. I'm like, man, what happened? Like, damn, Chief, they gave me a life sentence. I said, life? How they give you life and shit? Kirk got 10. I got, 9, I guess. It was like 8 years, 11 months. I said, I got that. And she said, because of the priors, man, they charged me with these 2 priors and all that stuff. I'm like, damn. And he was like, damn. I said, man, you got to get back, though. This appeal, we going to win our appeal any motherfucking way. And all that stuff happened, so he ended up winning the appeal. And won the second one. So he ended up getting 16 years.
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Like and comment below to give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related videos to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description and listen to our weekly podcast, The Gangster Chronicles, every Thursday. And thanks for watching StreetTV.net.